Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup Roundup 2019 group stage results. So, we've had all the matches in the group stages now, and there's been some surprises. Especially in Group B, actually. Especially in Group B, but also in Group A. So, there's been some monumentous occasions, and it's time to take a look at it. So, we'll go through Group A first, where we kicked off with South Korea taking on the United Kingdom. No surprises here that South Korea get the 3-0 win, although the United Kingdom do put up quite a good fight early on, but South Korea did prove that they are the better team on paper, and it showed. And then we had France taking on the United States. Again, the United States showing here that they're the better team on paper, 3-0 for the United States. Nothing too untoward. Moving on to round 2, we had the USA taking on Sweden. Sweden in action for the first time in the group stages. Again, on paper, the USA are a much better team than Sweden, and it showed. 3-0 for the USA. But then things start to get a bit weird when we see South Korea taking on France. South Korea lose 2-1 to France. That is massive. That is the first game South Korea have ever lost at a World Cup. And to the French, which is somewhat surprising for a lot of people, I would have thought, considering most of us thought they might lose to the USA, but not many of the other teams, so big upset there. Then we had round 3, which would see France take on Great Britain, or the United Kingdom, which France would come out on top 2-1. This was actually fairly close, but the United Kingdom kind of failing to clutch when they need to, is the best way to describe it. And then South Korea taking on Sweden, they needed to bounce back, and they do indeed, getting a 3-0 win over Sweden. Then in round 4, we saw France take on Sweden. France, this was much closer for them, but France do run out 2-1 winners, which is really good for France. That sees them go through. And then we see the USA taking on the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom had to win, and pretty convincingly, to keep themselves in the competition. They failed to do so. Again, it's closer than the scoreline suggests, but the USA do run out 3-0 winners, knocking the United Kingdom out, which is contrast to last year. And then in round 5, we had South Korea taking on the USA, the big grudge match, which actually the USA ran out 3-0 winners on. So South Korea have now lost 2 matches at this World Cup already. We didn't think they'd be coming out the group stages with 2 wins and 2 losses on the board. Very interesting. And then we have Great Britain taking on Sweden, or United Kingdom taking on Sweden. Again, this really had no credence because none of these teams were going through. And Sweden do run out winning 2-1 over the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom will not pick up a win at this year's World Cup. Yeah, that's disappointing from a United Kingdom point of view. I think they're better than that, really. But they couldn't clutch in the situations they needed to. They weren't terrible, and I think if you would have put them in Group B, I think they would have made it through. But it's a tough group, Group A, and yeah, United Kingdom really couldn't keep up with it. So the United Kingdom and Sweden are out, but from Group A, we see the United States go through without dropping a single map. We see France go through as second with a 3-1 record, and then South Korea going through as third place in a 2-2 record. We didn't think we'd be saying that. South Korea coming out of that group third. But hey, we like surprises. Moving on to Group B then, and we started off in round 1 with Canada taking on Russia. And we get an upset straight off the bat, where Canada lose 3-0 to Russia, although they were missing XQC, so they were missing their main tank. And then we saw China taking on Denmark. Again, no surprises here. China are the best team in that group, and they ran out 3-0 winners over Denmark. Then in round 2, we saw China take on the Netherlands. This was much closer than I had anticipated, but China do win 2-1 over the Netherlands. And then Denmark took on Russia, and Denmark managed to beat Russia, which actually I'm not entirely surprised about, even though Russia are a higher seeded team than Denmark. But Denmark do win 2-1. I think Denmark actually are a bit of a dark horse, to be quite honest with you. And then in round 3, we saw China take on Russia. Again, no surprises that China ran out 3-0 winners. And then this is a shock. Canada, with XQC back, lose 2-1 to the Netherlands. Ooh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Brilliant win for the Netherlands. Canada, it's gone really, really wrong at this World Cup for our number 2 seed. Really wrong. Round 4, we saw Denmark take on the Netherlands. This was a real big match, but Denmark managed to run out 2-1 winners. I think they have got a bit more quality than the Netherlands have. So that would leave it to round 5 to decide who between the Netherlands or Russia would go through, and that would be a big, big match, because Canada would lose 3-0 to China in the other match in round 4, sealing Canada's fate. Yeah, Canada out of the World Cup with a whimper, really. From what I saw, I didn't see the whole broadcast because there was a lot of games going on at the same time, but from what I saw, XQC was dying first a lot of the time. So, I don't want to assign blame, but I did have some question marks over whether XQC could keep up with the rest of the competition, and I don't know whether that might have been proved. But hey, who am I to judge? And then moving on to round 5, we had Canada in action again against Denmark. This was convincing for Denmark, 3-0 to them, rounding off a miserable World Cup for Team Canada, where they would only pick up one map and have a 0-4 record. No one expected that from our number 2 seed. And then the big match between Russia and the Netherlands to decide who would take that last place. It would be the Netherlands winning 2-1 over Team Russia to knock out another top 10 seed. So we have seen 4 top 10 seeds go out. We have seen our number 2 seed go out. And we've seen our number 15 and number 11 seeds that came through the preliminaries go through to the knockout stages, which is fantastic. So to round that off, out of Group A, you will see United States, France, and South Korea later on. And you will see out of Group B, China, Denmark, and the Netherlands later on. Out of the competition are Sweden, the United Kingdom, Russia, and the biggest surprise is Canada. Canada are out, and out with not really much to show for it. No medal for Canada this year. Remember, Canada were silver medalists in 2017 and bronze medalists last year. So that's a big, big shock. Another shock is obviously the 2 losses for South Korea. No one was expecting South Korea to do that. Again, this is the group stages, so South Korea could step it up come the knockouts a little bit later on. But there are chinks in the armor for South Korea. And I said it in the South Korea preview video, they can be beaten, and France and the USA have proved that. And to be quite honest, they did not have it easy against the United Kingdom, and I can't say against in the game but they had against Sweden because I didn't see it. My favourites at the moment would either be United States or China. From what I've seen from China, they look very, very well organised. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a United States-China final, depending on how the bracket works out. So, talking of the bracket, the first games we will see will be Denmark versus South Korea, and that's at 5:30 GMT today. And then France versus the Netherlands after that game. You would expect South Korea and France to go through, but who knows? We've seen some shocks at this World Cup. Whoever wins out of Denmark or South Korea will face the United States. And then whoever wins out of France or the Netherlands will face China. I really don't think anyone out of the France or the Netherlands can beat China. South Korea versus the United States. Again, you'd have to favour the United States based on the group stage result. And Denmark could pull off something special. But at the moment, my money would be on a United States-China final. But I'm going to leave it here. I'll be back for the results of the knockouts or the playoffs tomorrow. But I'm going to leave it here for this one. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.